It's wedding season, and we all know they don't come cheap. That's why if you're planning to have a big wedding one day, you might want to consider saving up, or better yet, investing in the wedding you want with tax-free savings. To discuss the importance of saving and planning for a wedding, as well as the benefits of a tax-free investment account, we speak to Karabo Ramookho. She's the Strategic Retail Marketing Manager at Old Mutual. Karabo, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Many people get into debt for their wedding. Obviously, that's the wrong thing to do. Are you seeing an uptick in people using tax-free savings instruments for their weddings?
Thank you so much for having me. I wouldn't say we're seeing an uptick yet, because obviously if someone takes up their tax-free savings, they don't always indicate the reason for that. But we most definitely are all about, if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you are definitely going to plan to fail. So a lot of people, we encourage you, save, 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 save. You want to get married, save.
How do you know then whether to use a tax-free saving vehicle for your wedding? I've always associated tax-free savings instruments with long-term investing as opposed to short to medium-term things like weddings.
So basically, your tax-free savings it's one of the best instruments for long or short term. It really doesn't matter, because there's no term linked to it. It would be better for you to use this, because if you're going to put it in an endowment or any other savings vehicle, most of those often have either a tax attached to that, where you have to pay tax on what's gonna pay out, or you have what we call penalties when you want to pull money out of it. Whereas the tax-free, you get what you saved for. If you put in 5,000 Rand, you get that with your gains on that, depending on obviously the funds that you selected. So the nice thing about tax-free, you put in your money, you get what you need when you need it, and there's no penalties.
Obviously, using your tax-free savings for a wedding is very different from using your tax-free savings to save for retirement. So how do you know, if you're doing it particularly for your wedding, which tax-free savings instrument is the right one for you?
So there is one tax-free, and then there's different funds that sit in it. How you will know, it will really depend on your situation. No two families, no two couples are the same, right? So let's say for myself, if I have myself and my new guy have gotten engaged and we want to have a really amazing wedding, the first thing we do is, when do we want to get married and how much money do we have? Time and affordability are very important. So if you want to get married in 2 years' time, you need to save more money if you haven't saved anything at all. Whereas if you want to have a big wedding and you don't want to get married exactly in the next 2 or 3 years, it means you can actually save a little bit for a longer time. So it really depends on those two very key factors.
Yeah, and of course, if you've got a shorter window, you don't want something that fluctuates a lot or that is very, very risky. Yeah. Karabo, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Hopefully a lot of people will take up your advice. Karabo Ramookho from Old Mutual.